Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to 99% Love Marriages Lead to Divorce. True Netflix? Arranged Love Sadhguru Adiyogi. So this is from the Adiyogi channel. Usually focuses on very specific topics that Sadhguru has talked about. So 99% love marriages lead to divorce. I think in America the average is about 50 to 60%. 50% some time ago. I'm sure that has increased, but I don't think it's love marriage. It's not true love marriage. I think it's more lust marriage or not thinking marriage. And also I think it's because people feel entitled, very much so entitled to something better, even if they don't provide themselves something better. There's a phrase that goes around in certain YouTube videos about what you bring to the table. So this table is what you bring to the relationship, and a lot of them hold on to their stuff and they don't put it on a table, meaning that they generally don't. I guess this is my thoughts here, process here, that they don't put a lot of it on the table because they feel like they're going to lose it. So instead of trying to bring great joy and happiness by bringing something to the table, they hold on to it. So caring, or being open-minded, or being I did say caring, or thinking that the person thinking that they deserve better. And I think that probably in some cases causes the marriage to fall apart, because they don't want to provide, they want to receive. I believe that's what the entitlement is. What I'm trying to say is they don't bring stuff to the table because they want stuff from the table. And so instead of giving a 50-50 to the relationship, they want to take 100% and give nothing in return. So they feel entitled, and that's why I think most marriages end in divorce. Anyways, we're getting started.
You just like the way she is dressed and you want to get married today. Well, tomorrow morning you will realize you don't want to have anything to do with her. So, because when you're 18, 20, due to various compulsions or peer pressure or something, you may take decisions which will not last a lifetime. Do you believe their judgment may not be the best, but parents have the best interest of yours. But if you have matured beyond them, that's a different thing. You can make your own decisions. But arranged marriage is a wrong terminology.
Can't wait to get to that part. I do have something to say, but whenever it gets to that part, I'll try to say what I think at that moment if I remember.
The clients, they want everything.
Someone charming,
equal to my pay or higher.
Adjustment is also important.
You have to be attracted to the person and the person has to be good. I don't think that is a lot to ask for.
I'm really close to my mom
and I wholeheartedly trust her judgment.
If he doesn't finalize, me and my husband are going to finalize the girl for him. That is what I have decided.
I'm curious, sorry, weird. I'm curious about this kind of stuff too, because there are some channels on YouTube that I watch that are like, they talk about what women want and what men want. Now I kind of want to know about other countries, if they have things like that. I'm curious if it's the same or different. And I'm wondering if, whether the females across all cultures want the same thing. There are some things, obviously, that should be obvious that are the same across cultures, but there should be certain things that should be different, but because of certain conditions may be the same. That's what I want to know. I may start reacting to some of those things, which is not part of this channel, but I do want to include those. I might start including some of those. I don't know. It's not going to be, it'd probably be something. Anyways, let's continue. Arranged marriage regressive.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. A Netflix show on the Indian way of matchmaking is trending and drawing criticism for the regressive ways of arranged marriage. Is it still relevant in today's time?
Okay, I guess I'll pause right there. To me, so this is about the arranged marriage. The thing is the way I look at this is that obviously I think those people have free choice. I'm assuming. And I think what's going on here is the fact that these people cannot make decisions for themselves. So their parents arrange the marriage, and then these people trust their parents to pick someone good for them because they themselves cannot pick. So I think this is what perhaps is arranged marriage today in India. I think. I'm guessing there. Let me know if I'm wrong. And it's kind of going on in China as well. I remember seeing a documentary about like women who are much older and their parents are going out to this area, almost seeming like they're selling their children, but they're just trying to find someone for them to marry because they're so busy or maybe not looking or something like that. Anyways, don't get me wrong. Again, it's happening even in the United States, but differently. The parents aren't doing it, but it's just the people themselves. So anyways, with that, I have no problem with if the child is having issues, finding someone, and they trust their parents to find them someone, and because in the clip that previewed is saying like I trust my mom to find someone for me. That's fine. That's in a sense an arranged marriage, but not in the same sense as what a lot of people are outside of the culture are understanding. I think they think of arranged marriage as in the parents fix the marriage, and the child has no input on it, which I don't think that's the case. I think that's the misconception. I think the reality is for now is the fact that the child just says I trust my parents to pick the my significant other for me, and we'll see how it works. Next thing is the fact that I think to some degree I do wonder what the success rate is for arranged marriage, because I'm wondering if they see it more as trying to make like a business kind of deal, as in they're trying to make each other happy and not necessarily look at it in the same way as the Westerners do. I'm not using the right terminology here. I think this is the best way I could put it. Maybe in arranged marriage, they tend to work harder towards the relationship than people who see each other married and they choose to marry each other versus arranged marriage. Because when people choose each other, they can say like, oh, I don't want that one, and there's no kind of repercussion to it. And I think with arranged marriages, because it was done by the parents, that they may have to pride themselves in doing good, and maybe that's why. I talked too much. Let's continue.
Well, if you do not know this, the success of something is in the result. Luxembourg, which is held as one of the most economically prosperous and free societies, a small little country, divorce rate is 87%. Spain, divorce rate is some 65%. Russia, 51%. United States, 43%.
I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the United States is not number one in something terrible anymore. I think it's higher than that though, so this must have been an old video, I don't know how old. But, or maybe it has gone down a little bit, but I don't think it's 40, I think it's 50% somewhere around there, at least last I heard. But then again, I could be wrong.
India, 1.5%. You decide what's working. Because marriage is not about how it happened, who arranged it. Your parents arranged it, or a commercial website arranged it, a dating app arranged it, or a local bar arranged it when you were fuzzy. Or your confused friends arranged it, or your confused self arranged it. Well, anyway, it's an arrangement. It is best, it is arranged by responsible, sensible people. This idea, arranged marriage means is some kind of a slavery, well, that depends. As there are exploitative people everywhere, sometimes your parents themselves may be exploitative, they may be doing things for their own reasons. their stupid prestige, their wealth, their nonsense. They may be doing it for those reasons. Well, they may be watching the darshan, but somebody just now, in the last couple of days, asked a thing that they want to choose a girl for their boy.
Real quick, so I did just look it up. It says 40 to 50% for the first marriage on the United States. Second marriage is about 50 to 60%. So we just say about 50. And I looked up India, and I think it says for 2022 it said 1.1%. I don't know what September 7th, 2022. Well, the majority of divorces worldwide are initiated by women. So, whew! So I guess his statistics is still right even today.
One girl is well-educated, pretty, another girl, father, big man. So which should I do? So I asked a simple question, you want to marry the girl or somebody's wealth? You make up your mind, because I don't know what's your priority. It depends what's your priority. If your priority is such that somebody's wealth by marriage becomes yours and that's all that matters to you, fine, that's your choice. That's the kind of life you've chosen. When I married I did not know her full name.
That's Sadhguru? He looks different. Whew.
I did not know her father's name. I did not know, in India, I did not know her caste or anything. When I told my father, he said, "What, you don't know the father's name? You don't know who they are, what they are, how will you marry?" I said, "I'm marrying only the girl. I'm not planning to marry any of the other things that usually may come with a girl. Just a girl. That's it." Well, everybody thought this is a disaster. Some of my, self-appointed advisors will be there always. Though I never took anybody's advice in my life, there'll always be advisors. They said, "You're making the biggest mistake in your life, this is going to be your disaster." I said, whatever happens, whichever way it happens, I knew this much, it's for me either to make it a disaster or a success. Because who you marry, how you marry, which way it was arranged, by who it was arranged, is not important. How responsibly you exist, that's all that is. So this whole debate about is arranged marriage better or meeting in the local bar is better, well, I think when you're not little fussed out, I think your decisions are little better. If a 18, 20-year-old man or woman, young man or young woman want to marry, who will they marry? Their contact is just there. Within those 10 people that they know in their life, one guy or one girl you marry, within 3 months you will know. But in most countries, there is a law, at least 2 years you must suffer. It's like a jail town. If you make a mistake, at least 2 years you must suffer. Then only you can divorce. Most nations have this.
Wow, that's a bit harsh, but I mean… whew. I thought it was 2 years to get to know them and then decide whether you want to marry or not. I think that would be a good idea, can't marry unless you know each other for 2 years. That way you really get to know the person. Because there are a lot of… and I think July 7th, 2007, a lot of people got married on the whim. Why July? Yeah, July 7th, 2007, because it's 7707, 777. It's supposed to be lucky. I do wonder how many of those people are married still today. That'd be amazing if, like, say over 60% are still married today. That's still higher than than the national average. But yeah, 2 years to stay married before they can divorce. I don't know if that's going to necessarily help because they can always just move out the house, go in an apartment for 2 years, and it's not going to help. But, you know, I don't know. 2 years. I wonder what countries have that.
Well, many religions have fixed it that divorce is completely wrong. You cannot divorce. But where such religions are practiced, there the divorce rate is highest.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, God's dictates are not able to stop the breakups. Law is not able to stop the breakups. You need to understand this. When parents organize, I'm asking you a basic question. Do you believe their judgment may not be the best, but parents have the best interest of yours? But if you have matured beyond them, that's a different thing. You can make your own decisions. But arranged marriage is a wrong terminology. All marriages are arranged. By whom is the only question. I think it's best it's arranged by people who are most concerned about your well-being, who have a larger reach of… because you can't find the best man or the best woman in the world because we don't know where the hell they are. With limited contact that we have, what is the reasonable good thing we can put together? That's all it is. So the very fact that divorce rates are as it is in these different societies that I spoke about, well, the success rate is very clear. When parents are the basis of your organization, it's little better because they will think little long-term. You just like the way she's dressed and you want to get married today. Well, tomorrow morning you will realize you don't want to have anything to do with her. So, because when you're 18, 20, due to various compulsions or peer pressure or something, you may take decisions which will not last a lifetime. Or sometimes you really hit it off with somebody and it may work out, that's another matter. So, arrangements. Everything is an arrangement, please understand this. You may think so many things. It is arranged by your emotion or your greed or your loved ones. It is arranged by somebody, isn't it? Or something. It is an arrangement. How you arrange it? Well, it's your choice. I'm not saying this is the way or that is the way, but whichever way you do it, please conduct it responsibly, joyfully. If you know, they've been saying marriages are made in heaven, but you're cooking hell within you. Marriage is made in heaven. That's why a lot of people want to go there soon because it's made there, they want to go there and settle it. No, you need to understand, to fulfill your needs, physical, psychological, emotional, social and various other needs, you're coming together. If you always remember, to fulfill my needs, I'm with you, you will conduct this responsibly. Initially you're like that, after some time you think he or she needs you, then you will start acting wantonly, then of course ugliness will start in many different ways. This happened. A young man and a very young woman got engaged. So once not like this, there must be a stone. Once the ring went in, the lady held his hand and said, "You can lean on me to share your pains, your struggles, your whatever sufferings you go through, you can always share with me." The guy said, "Well, I don't have any struggles or pains or problems." She said, well, we are not yet married.
Oh.
So, if you think you're full of pain, struggles, problems and you need somebody to lean on, well, there'll be trouble. You make yourself into a joyful, wonderful human being, then you will see your work also will be wonderful, your home also will be wonderful, your marriage will be wonderful, everything will be wonderful because you are. Without fixing this, you think somebody else is going to fix you, then there's going to be trouble for you and of course an unfortunate consequence for the other person.
So, I guess there's a few caveats to a video or with a few caveats to obviously to the marriage and divorce rates and all that. I think along the lines of what my friend would say. Just because there's a low divorce rate, that doesn't necessarily mean there isn't issues in the marriage. There could be many reasons why there's not a divorce. It's because sometimes in certain countries or cultures, divorce is really, really bad for the woman. Again, I don't know necessarily that there's any country like that. I'm sure there are some countries like that, but not very many. And then why the reasoning the divorce rate is low? Hopefully it's always because, you know, everyone's good, everyone's happy. That's what we can hope for. Like even in America, the divorce rate could be higher because there are people out there who base in the culture, and even in America, that divorce is bad, no matter how bad the woman is being mistreated or the man being mistreated, because there is what do you call it? There's a certain thing. I guess gotta spill it out. Generally speaking, if the man gets divorced and the woman's not working, the woman will get half of what the man has, and the man will have to pay the woman a certain amount of money every month for I don't know how long. And if children are involved, then the man has to pay child support and all of that. So it's a very lose-lose situation for men in America, typically. Not all the time. It's majority of the time, though. Pretty high majority, like 90% probably. That might change now. Again, last data has been quite old, so I'm sure it's still pretty high, though. And the men or women, both situations, could refuse divorce. So while he may say 43 and I say 50, it could be higher, but there could be some people refusing divorce even though they don't want to be married, just because of the consequences of either the culture or the law. So I don't know if that's the same in certain other countries and whatnot. One can only hope that the reason why divorce rates are as low in America, India, China, or whatever else is because they're happy with their partner, or even if they're not necessarily happy with their partner, but they understand the need to stay together and willingness to work things out. And I think that's what's really failing in America, is the fact that the reason why divorce rates are so high is because you can pick this person or that person, or with a lot, what I've noticed in a lot of the videos, the dating videos I talked about a little bit earlier, when you hear this women talk, it's like, oh, I can just find me another man. I can get me another man. So they don't try to work things out with their partner. Instead, they just say, oh, I just find someone better. I'll just find someone better. And the thing they don't realize is that they're not learning how to fix problems in relationships. The way to fix a problem is to just replace the person. Same thing with men too, I'm sure. Like, you know, if there's a problem, I mean, that comes kind of easy in America. In metropolitan type areas where there's just a lot of people, you have a lot of options. So why try to fix a problem, but instead find someone that doesn't have that problem? The problem is they'll find someone with that problem not there, but they have a different problem. So they just leave that person to find another person that doesn't have that problem or this problem, but then they have another problem. Instead of trying to work things out, they just find another person. And I think that's what's kind of lacking in modern day dating. Again, I don't know if this is, I'm curious. That's the reason why I want to watch like dating in other countries, to see if that's kind of the same thing too, and whether cultures want to push back against that, where, you know, you said you should stick with the person and try to work things out. Obviously, after trying to work things out, genuinely trying to work things out, that if it doesn't work out, then obviously find someone else. Because at least at that point, you learn how to try to work things out with people. In America, I don't know what percentage of people who don't work things out. I think it's probably pretty low at the moment, but it could be quite higher. That they just don't want to try to work things out. They get frustrated, they don't work things out because they think they're right, they think they're entitled, or they can just find someone else. And that, I think that percentage of people is growing. The more that we're connected in the world, the more that we say, oh, I have more options. I don't have to settle, you know, kind of deal. Settling is a bad term, but I think that's what a lot of people are, a lot of people that we're seeing in modern day dating. You know, in the past, they don't have a lot of options, so they had to stick together and work things out. I can see a lot of modern day people saying, oh, well, because they didn't have options, they had to settle, or they had to stick with that person because they didn't have options. It's much better to have more options. You can become happier. It's like, no, a lot of people who stuck together, work things out, become happier because the relationship becomes that much stronger. I'm not saying all of them, but the people who can work things out genuinely, they tend to be happier and the relationship tends to be stronger because anytime there's an issue, they can work things out. They don't try to avoid it. They don't try to find someone else. You know, it's yeah, it is the way it is at the moment. I am curious about dating in other worlds to see if it's the same issues as America. Anyways, that's my reaction to 99% of love marriage lead to divorce. If you like my content, please consider subscribing, thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.